Joining a martial art, or well, we're just in this sense, we're gonna do boxing because you're like angry and you have a lot of repressed anger within you is a very honorable reason to begin like combat training. Think about it, like you're putting your anger, right? Which anger is pretty much a negative emotion. So you're putting basically your negative emotion into something that is actually quite positive. You know, you're turning that energy, that negative energy into like an art. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think if you join, in this sense, we're just going to talk about boxing, right? But this is martial arts in general. If you start boxing because you had a lot of anger when you were younger, say you did it as a teenager, you're angry as fuck, you got a lot of aggression, and you choose to start like you know what I'm saying, boxing, it's very, very honorable that you did that, because think about it, you could have done something way worse and a lot more heinous, you know, in that time. Like you might have went and committed a crime, you might have hurt someone, you might have committed, you know what I'm saying, you might have ruined your life for no fucking reason. But instead you took that anger and that negative energy onto the bag, you know what I'm saying, onto the pads, and eventually onto a fellow sparring partner that's gonna beat the fuck out of you and then drop your ego and let you know that, you know what I'm saying, you're not the most powerful person in the world, and that there's plenty of people, even younger than you, bro. There's a fucking 14-year-old that's gonna fuck you up. All of a sudden you don't feel so angry anymore, and like after like a good few months of training, you realize you're not all that. There's people way more dangerous than you. You know what I mean? Like there's 14-year-olds that whoop your ass. So yeah, and through all of that, right? through all of that, you've now managed to like completely prevent yourself from doing something, you know, kind of erratic or crazy, all because you've chosen to channel your negative energy into a sport. You know what I'm saying? And instead of, you know, going for criminal endeavors, you're chasing athletic excellence. So that's why it's instantly gonna get put in the honorable section. Next up, we've got boxing purely because you want to fight and just for the sake of fighting and hurting other people. Now here's the difference. You're saying, what's the difference between fucking angry Baki over there and Goku staring cold? Well, look at the fucking expression, my nigga. Baki, he's angry, you know what I'm saying? He's got anger in his eyes and he's gonna use that energy. Well, I don't know what he's doing in this scene, I haven't watched the show, but say he's about to use that energy onto the bag, you know what I'm saying? And he's not really trying to hurt anyone, like it, hypothetically, all right? He's got anger and he's putting that anger into something. He's putting that anger into developing himself, which is a good thing, right? Now we look at fucking Goku's ice cold stare. This is why I use Goku's, like the Goku stare, to represent niggas that come to the boxing gym literally just to like fight other people and like spar. It stems from so many negative things. It could be an egotistical thing, a sociopathic thing. Like think about it, you want to fight for the sake of fighting. I'm not saying like punching people isn't fun, right? Because it is. Right? I'm not. But like if you're doing it like, oh, bro, I just want to fucking fight, and you're like using combat sports to basically. You're using combat sports to legally brutalize other people. In my opinion, I think that's a fucked up reason to like start boxing. And I really think you should get yourself checked and evaluated. But you know what? No, fuck that. You don't need to get checked. You don't need to get evaluated. You're gonna get checked in the fucking ring. Someone's gonna whip you if you're thinking like that anyways. So, but like overall, like it's an L reason to start boxing in my opinion, because like, bro, just don't think like that. It's not, bro, it's not everyday violence. You know, even though like, to my friends and shit, I come off as like hot-headed, but dead ass like, and I appreciate boxing for doing this. Training twice a day really does make you just an overall nicer person, because one, you don't actually have the energy to really be on that smoke, and two, you know the reality of smoke and you know the reality of violence. It's not fun, and it's definitely not fun when you're the receiving party, you know what I'm saying, of violence. So if you're coming to the boxing gym just to like, you know, oh yeah, I just want to fight, or, you know, I just want to spar this nigga, this, that, and I've come across niggas like that, you're gonna get whooped, and it's an L reason to start boxing, bro. So I'm putting you straight in the what the fuck nigga category. Next up, we've got boxing for the sake of just getting the belts, you know what I'm saying? For the sake of achieving champions and shit like that. I'm gonna put it in the fair enough, bro category. Like, it's a pretty good reason to start boxing, but it's like, it doesn't go deep enough, which is why I'm gonna put it in basically like the mid tier, the C tier. Like, yeah, okay, I see what you're trying to do. You wanna box, and you know, if you're aiming to get belts, you're clearly doing it. You're gonna take it seriously, obviously. You're gonna put a lot of work in, so that's why it's like, hey, fair enough, respect to you. But if you're literally just boxing just to get that fucking, that picture, like you can see what the guy's doing in the picture, where you hold all the belts like this, and like there's like a row of belts that you're holding up. I don't know, man. It's just not. It's a pretty shallow reason if you just want the belts, and not to mention how boxing has like so many fucking different belts. The organizations are usually corrupt, so, and like if you know people, and if the organization really wants you to like really jump up there and like you're a star fighter, then they're gonna pad the fuck out your record, give you cans to crush this can, boom. Next thing you know what I'm saying, you got a bunch of belts. Like we've seen it with multiple fighters, multiple boxers that are now stars. Yeah, I mean, but if you want the belt, hey, an achievement is an achievement. Every boxer that has got a belt, they still had to work hard to get it, even if their like records are like padded or whatever. So I'm gonna give it a medium amount of respect, but not high enough to be honorable or straight purpose. You're gonna get put in fair enough, bro. You know what I'm saying? You want belts? Fair enough, bro. I'm gonna put having ADHD/autism in the honorable category as a reason for starting boxing, because there is a clear There's a clear like correlation. I'm sure there's studies out there. I'm not fucking nerd. I don't back out studies, but there's a clear correlation between, you know, having ADHD and autism and it being like beneficial to combat sports and sports in general and even business and shit like that. Because, you know, these types of people have, how do I say it? Traits and functions that actually do really well when you apply it into like a combat sense or a training sense or a systemized routine, which usually you'll find yourself in if you start actually competing in things like boxing or MMA in general. You know, things like, you know, being extremely energetic, being extremely straightforward, taking routines extremely seriously. Like, okay, right, I do this now, and then I do this, and I do this at this exact time, and I do this and this and that. Like, there's a lot of people that just can't like fucking do anything in school, and then they finally find boxing or fighting, and they fall in love with it, and they become the most disciplined people ever. There's a clear correlation between people who have ADHD/autism and people that basically like fall in love with fighting and realize that their traits are actually more compatible with a combat sport rather than sitting in one spot all day and doing like writing work. And they realize that they're actually very disciplined individuals through boxing. And I think if you did like join and start boxing because it kind of helps whatever cognitive dysfunction you may have, I don't know what the fuck to call it, cognitive disorder, there you go, massive dysfunction. If you're doing it because you have a cognitive disorder and like combat sports really helps, you know what I'm saying, with keeping it under control, keeping it together, this, that, I think it's an honorable reason to start. I think it's a pretty valid reason as well. So shout out to all my people that have ADHD and autism that do combat sports, that do boxing as well. Shout out to you niggas. Boxing for the sake of impressing girls. What do you think? What do you think I'm gonna put this in? You and obviously, like, bro, let me just move it there because you already know. Shut your bitch ass up. Like, I'm not even gonna do the whole rhetorical question. Okay, now you're probably thinking like, whoa, what's wrong? No. Look, any kind of athletic endeavor will get, like, you know, impress girls, right? It's not, girls don't just like boxers, right? Even though there's like, you got a little bit extra aura because it's a combat sport and like you're literally fighting another guy in front of like a bunch of people. Okay, whatever. But whatever sport you do, if you're good at it, girls are gonna like you for it. So if you started boxing specifically to impress girls, I don't think you understand how like embarrassing that is. Not from like a, oh, don't do it for the girls perspective. No. I'm saying in the sense that you are literally getting hit in the head, my boy. You are literally like, it's not deep, but it also kind of is. Like, you are like taking severe damage every time you compete, and you know you have to do hard sparring sessions and shit like that. If you're doing that, if you're literally losing your brain cells just to impress girls, you're embarrassing. You understand? Go weightlift. If anything, if you want to like really max out impressing the girls, go do some bodybuilding. Girls like footballers, girls like basketballers. If you have the height, like, hey, girls do like boxers though. You know what I'm saying? Like first-hand experience. But if you really think about it, if you're a guy that's specifically doing boxing specifically to impress the huzz, you are losing your brain cells to like impress the huzz. You're literally fucking hurting yourself. You're losing brain cells in the name of pump. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, it's embarrassing if you do that, and I think you should really like reevaluate your life choices if like you're like fucking deep into boxing and you've been doing the whole thing, you've been hating the training, hating the competition, hating all the other aspects, but then, oh, because, you know what I'm saying, the girls are respecting you for it, it's like, oh yeah, it's worth it, let me go do another fucking 6 rounds of sparring. Like, shut the fuck up. You should be doing it for many other reasons, honorable reasons, like we're showing right now. But, you know, the girls, it's like it's an added benefit, you know what I'm saying? It's an added benefit, added aura. It's like it's a perk, okay? It's a side perk. It is not anything, it should not be the main goal, you know? Yeah, and I just find it embarrassing when I see guys that box specifically to impress the girls, bro. Get a life. We're gonna put legacy in the straight purpose fucking category, all right? So this means you're not boxing to become the best boxer. You're boxing to become the greatest, and I think that's literally just straight purpose. You know, if you look at Muhammad Ali, let's be honest, all right? It's gonna piss a lot of people off. Muhammad Ali, from a technical perspective, you know, he was an extremely good boxer. Like, he's in the top 10, by the way. But there is clear debate, like if you compare him to modern boxers especially, right, that he isn't actually the best. But he did live up to his name. He is the greatest, right, because of what he did outside the ring, you know, and the way that he attacked his training, the kind of man that he was, aside like from being a boxer, aside from being an athlete. If you're boxing because you want to become like a great athlete, you know, you want to be the type of athlete that represents his country, that represents his people, that represents his religion, like a lot of boxers do, which is, like, in my opinion, wholesome and inspiring as fuck. I think that's straight purpose, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I've been seeing a lot of, like, I'm Somali, bro, and I really like the fact that I'm basically like inspiring other Somali guys to start boxing as well. I remember when I walked into the gym, man, like, you know, when I walked into my gym for the first time, there's 2 really good guys. Shout out to Abdi and Wasami. They were both Somali, and they were like, bro, like, they're both like, in my gym, like, there's levels to, like, you know what I'm saying, what level each person's boxing at. And these guys were more like the serious fighters, and I was like, damn, these guys are good too. Like, they were with the better, like, fighters and the better boxers. I'm just looking at them like, fuck, like, I didn't know Somalis could like really fight like that. And, you know, years later, I've gotten pretty decent, not fucking great by the way, but pretty decent myself. And you know what I'm saying, if you are doing this sport to inspire others, I think that is like an amazing purpose to follow. And if you're doing it to become like a great man, you know what I'm saying, like Muhammad Ali, I literally have a poster of him right there. It's not just Marvin. Then yeah, you're doing it for the right reasons, by the way. So keep it up. Fucking amazing. And yeah, this goes straight in the straight purpose category. Next up, you are boxing purely because you just want to compete. You know, you're boxing purely because you need a frontier. So if you see the picture that I used, right, and I'm about to nerd out on this, bro, because this shit really interested me, right? This is a picture of like the niggas back in like the frontiersman time. So not the Wild West, but like before that, where America wasn't even like fully colonized yet and shit like that. Obviously, man, fuck these guys, they're colonizers or whatever. But when you just really think about their lifestyle, right? Imagine you're just fucking Anglo-Saxon in the middle. You're this Anglo-Saxon in the middle of America, right? And you know you're part of this outpost, and it's just you and a group of guys. And you're saying, "Hey, all right, let's go even further west, and let's go find this fucking uncharted territory, this unknown fucking land, right? And it's filled with bears and snakes and fucking, you know, honey badgers. I think they're in America." And crocodiles and other scary ass animals and cougars and all these fucking scary ass animals that are like in America, and like you know what I'm saying, you're just expanding into this unknown territory purely because you need some type of frontier, you need some type of a war, you need like a front line to be pushing against, you need competition, you know, and on top of that, like these niggas are getting smoked by the Native Americans as well. If you are boxing purely because you just need something to fight, you need a frontier to push against, and you need like basically a game to level up in, I think that's a very honorable reason to be boxing. I think every man really like truly deeply wants something to constantly be getting better at. You know, with me, it's been boxing lately and YouTube as well, with my editing and shit like that. I feel like when I'm not doing it, I feel so fucking bored, and also like just ashamed of myself because I'm not actively improving on like a certain endeavor, you know. And I need to do that, you know. And I think every guy needs to do that, because when he doesn't, he becomes deeply depressed. I think depression is a symptom of not doing the things that you're supposed to do. And one of them is having a frontier, having an active competition that you're competing against, having other guys that you're competing against for the sake of competition, for the sake of fighting, and for the sake of fighting against the frontier, bro. So yeah, even though I don't idolize these guys because they were colonizers, but I 100% do respect what they probably had to go through in the name of colonizing this shit. Like, hey, bro, these fucking European niggas, like, they took over the world, but bro, they probably went through some crazy shit. But man, when I think of like the frontiersman times, when you could just like go and take land, you know what I'm saying? Even though there's gonna be someone that might chop your head off for it. What a time to be alive, bro. Like, fuck that. I'm not gonna fucking like try and hide it, bro. Like, that shit must have been lit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Going with the boys to go get some land. Fuck that, bro. That must have been lit. That must have been lit. And I think one of the most enjoyable things you can do as a man is have an active competition, an active frontier. And boxing, if you're using that as your frontier, I think that's an extremely honorable reason to be doing that shit. Now, last but not least, I should have left this, should have put in a different order. This is actually a pretty basic one. You're boxing because you're deeply desiring respect from other men, which, fair enough, bro. We'll just put it, I don't know, it was not really a bang, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, hey, fair enough, you know what I'm saying? If you are boxing because you want respect from other guys, I think that's a fairly valid reason. Not the best, you know, but once you do learn how to fight and other people find out that you fight and find out that you've been training for a while, you get an immense amount of respect from other men, bro. Like, the people will be careful with the way they speak to you. Not like a, oh, I'm gonna intimidate. You're not trying to fucking intimidate other niggas, like, but in the sense that you will get your flowers, you know what I'm saying? You will get a deep amount of respect from other guys once they find out, because fighting is hard, bro. This boxing shit. Like, my last video when I talked about the curse, like, I'm getting back to, I'm currently training for about next month. And bro, this shit has been fucking miserable. Like, it's fun, but oh my God, the realities of the conditioning and the running, like this morning, actually, like this morning and this, I literally ran like fucking 3 miles, came back, recorded a video. I promise you I'm gonna take a shower, but you know what I'm saying? It's fucking miserable and it's hard, and other people notice that. Even people that don't go through it, they know that how hard it is, or well, they don't truly know, but they have an idea. And because they have an idea, they'll always give you your flowers and give you your respect. So if you're boxing because you want respect, it's a fair it's not the best reason, but it's a pretty fair reason. It's an alright reason. So yeah, that's my tier list on the best and the worst reasons to get into fighting / boxing / MMA, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Have a look, leave a comment, and peace.